Let's put our right hand on our heart and our left hand on our right. Take a moment. Take a deep breath and feel that stillness right there. This is the doorway, the entrance to that magical world of the heart. Whenever you need it, that heart is always there. And if you put your hands there, you enter that doorway. This is the foundation of HeartThread. Thank you.
So when we put our hands on our heart like this, we're in a location of the heart, and everything else goes away, and we become connected to infinite energy that we're associated with through our heart, and then we become connected to the threads of each other's hearts. So Raphael and I, when we just did that, created a connection between our hearts. So if I was going to work with Raphael with HeartThread, his heart would be giving me information about how to take whatever he's experiencing and clear it and open it and ground it. And that's what HeartThread does. It's extremely simple, and it lets us come into the present moment without necessarily understanding that with our head, but being guided and led by our hearts. And so this is what we're going to be sharing with all of you on February 13th, so that you can also experience this way of being in oneness with each other and with yourself without really thinking about what that means. So it doesn't have a spiritual context as much as it has a practical way to live your life.
And it's magic.
Magic.
It can shift. It does. It has shifted my patterns. I have done this for many years, and I am very different from how I was when I started with the HeartThread process, receiving and giving, because you live in that space of the heart, and you live with that magic. You live with serendipity and grace and ease, and you live with the simple. I like the fact that you brought up how simple it is, because we're so complicated these days. It's so nice to just be simple. I'm a chop wood, carry water guy, and I'm very much aligned with the Tao and the Zens and all that kind of stuff. And I like to keep things simple. And the heart is where that space of simplicity. It's like a sea. It's like a vast expanse of stillness. And it can bring you everything your heart desires, because you're in a space where you're not in the way.
Yeah, the thing that I love about HeartThread is that it meets you wherever you are. And you don't have to think about what's up or how to fix it or anything, because the patterns that we have inside actually are released and given space during a HeartThread session. So it's like we come open, and then whatever's up gets resolved, but it isn't resolved logically. It's resolved deep inside where the patterns originated when we were little kids, and we were living in conditioned ways, and we weren't allowed to express, and we couldn't be angry, and everything was like wrong. And so this brings us to a place where there's a perfection of just being.
Yeah. The field of the heart is very giving. It's very loving. It's very open. There's no restrictions. There's no you can't, or you have to this. It is a space of purity. It takes us back to that space of innocence when we were that child. And it in many ways clears away all the debris that gets in the way of having fun, of playing, which we don't do as adults. We have this problem and we're trying to figure it out. We've realized through the heart and through the heart thread that you can't figure things out, except how to use the computer or whatever. But, that kind of stuff goes easier when there's grace. And when you go back into the heart, even for that moment when you're having a difficult moment, you take a breath and you either put your hands on your heart or you imagine that you're putting them there. It takes you back into that field, that quantum field where the heart knows it all.
Yeah, and so we'd like you all to experience that. And so we have this wonderful day coming up when we'd like to offer you a variety of different experiences with children, with horses, with each other, sharing different ways, and also receiving a personal session yourself.
And will even help you to figure out through your mind, sorry, I'm joking. We will actually also show you how you can do it yourself with others, with your loved ones, how you can help them just in a moment with a touch and a word and a shift and a smile.
So February 13th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. And we have a sliding scale so everyone can come, no matter what your financial status at the moment. And you can find out about this on our website, www.soulsupportsystems.org. Or we have Facebook. We have some Facebook channels, I guess. Raphael, why don't you tell them about that part?
Well, we've created a Facebook event page, and you'll be able to have the link on this video at the end, and you'll be able to go there and sign up. It'll give you the links. It'll tell you more information. And then you also can find out how the schedule of the day will be on the Soul Support Systems website. But the Facebook event page is something you could share with those you'd like to invite to join us. And you can also put your comments there. If you've ever had a session and you have some testimonials, it would be wonderful to also hear from you, to know what your experience was. So we will see you on the 13th, Eastern Time, 9 to 4. Even if the Facebook page says it's Mountain Standard Time, in the description, it actually is clear that it's Eastern.
All right. Thank you, Raphael.
Thank you, dear. Lovely to connect. Bless your hearts.